Welcome back, guys. This is episode 10 of the Goodbye Windows Hello Manjaro series. Today we're going to talk about gaming. Now, gaming is the one area where Windows still has an advantage, and many people keep Windows on their hard drive specifically for gaming. I don't use Windows for gaming. All of my gaming requirements are easily satisfied within Linux, but that's a personal thing, so you'd have to evaluate that. Uh, there are some options to run Windows games in Linux. If you use Steam, then there are some games that work in Windows and also work in Linux. So if I fire up Steam and take a look at it, let's go to the store. Now, if I look at the library of games, you have games that are Steam OS and Linux. Now, 51 games in my library, 30 of them will run in Linux. There are others that will only run if you're on a Windows machine. But as you can see, there are so many games available within Linux that I don't really need to go into Windows to play the games. So Steam is pretty easy. What you'll want to do, and I'm going to go through these one at a time. Steam being probably the easiest, you will install sudo pacman-s, capital S, Steam, as I have here. Now I'm going to put these notes into the show notes so you'll be able to print them out and follow along. So first of all, to get all of your installs out of the way, if you're going to run BattleNet, if you're going to run Steam, if you're going to run WarThunder, you don't really need to do anything other than download the installer. So let's go through the required installation. First, you need to go to yaourt and install Microsoft Fonts, and that is yaourt space dash capital S space lowercase ttf-ms-fonts. You want to install that. Then you want to go to pacman and install winetricks and Steam. Don't need that. Then, in order for BattleNet to work, you do need this file here, sudo pacman-s, that's a capital S, lowercase lib32-libldap. So that's what you'll need to install. Now, for WarThunder, you will download the installer from the website. So you would go to WarThunder and then click on download game right here, download game. It'll bring up download game for Linux. You'll want to click that and download the installer. That'll go into your download file, and I'll show you what to do with that in a moment. Now, for BattleNet, you want to search BattleNet on Google. Click on download clients when you see your Google search. I'll go back there. When you search BattleNet in Google, come down, click on download clients. There are clients for all of the various Blizzard games. I would recommend that you only download one, and that's the BattleNet app. That'll give you access to all of the other games. So just click on Windows. That will download it to your downloads folder, and you'll be good to go. Now, let's take BattleNet let's take WarThunder first. You want to go to your downloads folder, and as you can see, WarThunder is here, WT Launcher. You will want to right click it and select Extract here. Then you will have a folder called WarThunder in your downloads folder. You will double click that and click on the launcher icon. Double click it. It will open up a window. I normally select full client and I download the game. Now I already downloaded it, so the download is complete. It'll do an update if you've already downloaded it. It's gonna take a while to download, and then once it's completed, all you need to do is click play and you will be in WarThunder. Very easy. So that's number one. Number two would be BattleNet. Before you go download the installer, but before you right click it, before you right click that and select open with Wine Windows Program Loader, once you have it downloaded, you're going to need to run a couple of other commands. So you'll open a terminal and you are going to type in these two commands, winetricks corefonts and winetricks VC Run 2015. Let me show you what that looks like. And so you can see on my BattleNet notes that the first thing you'll do after you install these, the first thing you'll do is run winetricks corefonts, winetricks VC Run 2015, get that exe file from this site, then right click and then open with Wine Windows Program Loader. Okay, so now let me show you what will happen. Once you run winetricks corefonts, it's going to install. It'll go through an install process. You see mine is already installed, so it's stopping. Then you're going to run winetricks VC Run 2015. It's already installed. So when you run VC Run 2015, it's going to ask you to agree to the installation of the Microsoft program, and you're going to click yes and install it. It'll go through the process. Once it finishes, once you finish winetricks corefonts and winetricks VC Run 2015, then get the file from BattleNet, right click it, open with Wine Windows Program Loader and follow along. Once you do that, you will have an icon on your desktop. Once you install Steam, you will have an icon on your desktop. When you install WarThunder, the launcher will be in your downloads folder, in that folder I told you about. So that will be your launcher. Now you can make a link for that on your desktop. So if I right click it, send to desktop, create link, I can close that out. Now if I double click the launcher, it will open. Very simple. Now there are a couple of other games that you can download through yaourt, supertuxkart and supertux. Do not download Extreme Tux Racer. It does not work. If you do a search on yaourt tux, it's going to bring up a lot of games. Number one will be Extreme Tux Racer. I tried it on 2 different installs, does not work. It will mess up your graphics and you'll have to either hard reboot, or if you're lucky, you'll be able to log out and back in to stop it. Supertux I have installed. Supertuxkart I have installed. Supertuxkart works very well. So if I go to single player and I select my character, novice, and I go to this particular screen, I start the race, and you're just going to use the arrow keys. The forward arrow is the accelerator. You can go right, you can go left. It's pretty neat, actually. It's a decent game, and it's a simple game, but the kids would like it. And you can get the power-ups and so simple game, decent graphics, and I am going to exit and I am going to quit. Now if you have a Steam account, you'll be able to play any games that you have installed on your Steam account, as long as you're able to be played in Linux. Some people try to play the Windows games through Steam using Wine. It's hit or miss. If it works, you're lucky. You can use a program called Crossover. However, you have to pay for it. You can go to this website, CodeWeavers. You can run Windows software on Mac and Linux. If you click on for Linux, then you can try it or buy it. They claim that you can run Windows games, utilities very easily within Linux. I have not tried it. I am not going to pay for it, and so you'd have to try that on your own. Other than that, the games that I'm showing you work fine within Linux. So let's take a look at WarThunder. I have an account in WarThunder and I have played it. I'm not really good at it, but let's take a look. Daily reward. See, I play for free, and so usually I get the 10%, not the 75s, but that's fine. And just select one of your planes, and then select to battle. It will find an online game, and you're going to join this particular game with other players. It explains it a little bit, and then you'll select one of your planes to go to battle with. It's going to count down. It actually takes about 15 seconds for everything to load, and then it puts you into battle, and you'll see it. I like WarThunder. I think it's a lot of fun. Now, those flashing yellow items down there, those are ground targets that you need to destroy. Or, of course, the main objective is to destroy the enemy aircraft, which those are the red ones. I am in the blue team. So, for example, if I come down and I try to get one of those ground targets out, they're probably gonna eventually come after me, the red planes. But that's okay. We will just try to shoot out a couple of... Now these targets that I'm flying at, they will shoot you. So there, I have destroyed one. I have destroyed two. And more than likely there'll be some red planes on my tail. You see how those are shooting at me? So if I come around, and the graphics are pretty nice, if I come around I'll be able to take out another, and I'm being shot at, as you can see. Okay, so now I've knocked out a few of those ground targets. I'm gonna go after a plane. And this guy right here. This plane doesn't maneuver very well, but we'll see if we can get on him. I did. I destroyed him. Critical hit. So let's see. I'm sure there are more planes on my tail here. And there are ground targets that are shooting at me. So you have to be careful because they do shoot at you. I'm not, as I said, I'm not real good at this, but we'll see if we can knock off another plane. And you have to stay out of harm's way. There's another one that shot me. That's this guy. Oh, so he hit me actually, and I'm history. So that is WarThunder, and I am going to exit out, return to the hangar, and I will exit out of the game. Now that is WarThunder. It's a lot of fun. BattleNet, if I double click, I'm going to go to the Hearthstone. If I click play, as you can see, it works absolutely fine. It works as well as it would in any other Windows or Mac. And that's all it takes. You start a game. If you're not familiar with Hearthstone, it's really a lot of fun. It's kind of a relaxing game. You do have a time limit on your moves with your cards, but basically you're dealing with a deck of cards and you play an opponent somewhere online. You don't know where the opponent is, but it finds an opponent for you, and then you just play them with your deck of cards, and they play, and they try to... It's a very strategic game, so they try, through using strategy, they try to beat you. Okay, so I'll go through a couple of moves just to show you. So it's going to ask you if you'll take these cards, and yes, some people spend time figuring out what their first cards are going to be, but now I only have 1 point here, so I don't have the ability to make any moves because it takes 2 points to do anything that I have. I don't have any 1 point cards. So I'm going to end my turn, and then my opponent will decide whether to play a card or my opponent. You can converse. So my opponent just said hello, and so I'll say greetings. Okay. Now now that I have 2 points, I have these green cards that I can use. Now, if you get tired of hearing your opponent saying things to you, if you right click, you can squelch them. So I just squelch them. Now, if I can deal 1 damage to all enemy minions, but there are no minions lined up. Now I can deal 3 damage to a character and freeze it, or I can just do 1 damage and end my turn, because my little weapon here has, for 2 points, I can send 1 damage. And that's basically how you play. You decide based on the number of points you have in your turn. It increases by 1 each time. You can decide what you want to do. So, but they basically did the same thing to me that I did to them. And that's how the game is played. I'm going to minimize that. Actually, I'm going to get out of it. So that's a few options, guys, on your gaming. If you have any questions, let me know. Put them in the comments. Now, as you can see, these are the files you need to install. For WarThunder, you'll need to download the installer and then right-click and go through the Wine program loader. BattleNet, you need to run a couple of commands and download the file. Actually, WarThunder you won't need to select. You can just double click it and download it and you'll be fine. Okay, so you're gonna open up with Wine program loader on the BattleNet and then supertuxkart. That's a decent game. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It is gaming on Linux. This is the extent of my gaming. There are other options. There are lots of games available within Steam. So really, for my purposes, my gaming requirements are pretty easy, and so I have no problems at all within Linux. So guys, as I mentioned, if you have any questions or comments, post them in the comments section. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for stopping by the channel, and I'll see you soon. Take care.